All right, what's going on, everyone? Tonight we have the 9060 XT. We're going to be pairing it with a 9600X for a mid-range build experience tonight. And we've got Dying Light 2. We're going to be checking it out at 1080p. And then we're going to be jumping over to 2K and looking at all the different ray tracing options as well. So right here we're at 160 FPS. This is low preset with no upscaling. And we do pretty well even up through ray tracing on this title. So I'm just going to run through it real quick. Make sure that it's not doing any automatic stuff here. It likes to move stuff around on you. So without all that in the way, let's just keep on going. That drops us down to about 147 FPS here. Just go look out this way. I can't really leave this area yet because it'll kind of like freak out and abort the mission, but we're going to try our best to run around in this area and get some good views of close-up stuff, far-away stuff, that kind of thing. So right here about 174 FPS. So again, everything looks pretty good. Again, this card is this is a cakewalk for this card, especially with no ray tracing enabled. So we're just going to jump over and see what we can expect with high quality, and then we'll jump over into the ray tracing portion of 1080p. And it does require a restart, so I'll go ahead and cut all that out when I get to that point. But right here at 124 FPS on high, definitely got some better fidelity. But you know, again, 1080p is pretty easy for most cards, most modern cards at least. So let's just go ahead and jump over and enable some ray tracing. So we're just going to click that first setting. Going to go ahead and restart, and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are back. We've got ray tracing enabled, and we do not have any sort of upscaling enabled at all right now. We're still well over 100 FPS. We're touching down into the 90s here and there, but for the most part, we're staying above 100. So this is a really good experience. So really no need to upscale at 1080p. We're going to check out that next level of ray tracing to see if we might need to do some upscaling at that point. But right now 1080p is looking to be just a really, really good resolution for this setup, especially on this title. It does tend to run pretty well. So let's jump over and do that just now. So we're going to go here. It goes keep it on no upscaling. See how bad it is. It likes to automatically do stuff. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Geez, all these games with the automatic stuff. I need to make sure that actually applied. It didn't. Oh, geez, hang on. Bear with me. There we go. All right, so high quality ray tracing, 1080p, no upscaling. VSync is, of course, off. We don't want it to lock our frames. All right, so looking like with ray tracing on the highest setting with no upscaling whatsoever, we are able to at least in most of the time be around 60 FPS. Now ignore any sort of frame tearing you're seeing right now. That is just a result of, you know, me running the title with no VSync on, and of course YouTube runs at 50 or at 60 FPS no matter what. So unless it's exactly 60 FPS like a video, you're going to get frame tearing. So if it's pretty bad, that's just, you know, a result of all those things I just mentioned. All right, so let's just go ahead and do some upscaling just to see how we can really make this run quite well. So we got quality, balance, and performance. We're going to run through all three tonight. All right, so this would be quality upscale with ray tracing set to the highest setting. Again, this is all just preset stuff. You can go in there and really get granular if you want to. I'm just trying to give you a big overview. But that brings you up to about 100 FPS with a quality upscale. This is personally where I would probably just stop. I think this is absolutely fine. Wouldn't want to muddy it up anymore, especially at 1080p. You start to get to some pretty low resolutions whenever you are using upscaling on 1080. So yeah, let's just keep on going though. Just since we're here, we'll go ahead and check it out. So go into options, come over here and go to that balanced preset. Go ahead and apply that. All right, that gives a little bit of a lift, gives us about 120 FPS here. So for the most part, you know, this is going to be extremely easy for this type of setup to run at 1080p. You know, no problem whatsoever. We're going to check out performance, and then the real test will probably be stretching it to that 4K preset or that 4K resolution and running through the presets there. So this is performance. This gives you 140 FPS. Again, not a problem whatsoever. We are going to jump over to 1440p and run through it all again. So I will be right back. All right, so here we are at the 1440p section. Let's go into video and just double check everything's right. So we got low quality. We're going to check it out today at 1440, no upscaling. Everything looks pretty good. Let's just keep on going. All right, so we are at 142 FPS in this little section up here. I got to talk to this guy. I'll go ahead and cut it out. All right, so we cut that out. Let's just keep on going through it. So this is still on the low setting, no upscaling. At 1440, it is much, much sharper. Let's just keep on rolling through it, though, and see what we can expect here. So going to go through and try out the medium quality. And again, we're just going to run through it until we get to a point where we might need some upscaling. We are just going to, keep on going until we get around that 60 and see where we can, definitely benefit from going up a little bit. My voice is a little bit dry. I'm coming off of a sinus infection, so if you hear my voice crack a little bit, that's all that is. But yeah, we are looking like 94 FPS, 97 FPS. Let's go ahead and jump this cap again. And I'm just kind of running back and forth in this area just to get like a nice, kind of base test. There's some dudes down there, but yeah, we are looking pretty good here. 115, 110 FPS. We haven't hit ray tracing yet, and I kind of feel like that's where this card might hit a little bit of a wall. But we're going to check it out, and I think with some upscaling, we should be okay. I want to make sure that upscaling did not apply. Okay, it didn't. All right, so here we are. We are on, I believe this was the high quality setting. Yep, just wanted to double check. All right, so we are about 80 FPS, looking quite nice again, still well over 60. No problems whatsoever with this combo. This 9600X paired pretty well, I think, with the 9060. If you see the temps going up a little bit on that 9600, I just have the PC fans set to a little bit quieter than normal so that I can record this and it not, be blowing the whole time. But it normally stays around high 30s. But yeah, I've got the fans kicked down just a little bit just to reduce that noise. All right, so yeah, we're looking about 70, 69 FPS or so here. Let's just keep on going. I'm going to have to do a restart to get that ray tracing to activate, but we're just going to come back over here and do a restart, and I'll be right back. All right, so we are back with some ray tracing turned on. We're at about 62 FPS, give or take, and we are looking pretty good here. Ray tracing is very doable on this setup, especially at 1440, and everything does look pretty good. I mean, everything's nice and fluid, smooth. Let's just jump over and do some quality upscale on this setting just to see kind of what we could do to polish it off a little bit, just kind of like, round the rough edges off. If we have any dips below 60, that gives you a very, very respectable 100 plus experience here. Everything looks so good. Ray tracing looks really nice on this title. But the high ray tracing, that is pretty difficult, and I'm really anxious to see what we're going to be able to do there. I think we're going to be able to get a pretty good experience with some upscaling. So once I go up here, I'm going to cut this dialog, and I will be right back with that. All right, so let's just jump into here, and I just wanted to double check here. We've got everything set to quality. Let's go to that balance setting. Since we're at 1440, I feel like we can go down to balance and just see what kind of that does for us. We're at 115, 118 FPS. All right, so definitely doable all the way up to the first level of ray tracing on 1440, absolutely no problem. Let's just jump over and kick on that next level of ray tracing. So this is high quality ray tracing. This is pretty difficult to run. So I'm going to jump over and just say no upscaling right now. I just want to make sure we get like a good baseline. All right, so here we are with very high ray tracing, and I will go ahead and say that it has crashed twice just getting to this point. Every time I flipped over, it would crash. So I think the best thing to do is just assume that for this setting, you're going to have to do some upscaling just to get those resources up a little bit. But everything does seem to be doable. We're at 100% usage on our card, so that's good. So let's just jump over to video. As you can see, everything's set to here. I'm going to do a little bit of quality upscale. Now, when I save it, we'll see if it hangs on. Hopefully it does. Okay, it hung on. That's good. So this gives us over 60 FPS here, just a simple quality upscale at 1440. I think this is a pretty good way to play it. Quality upscale looks really good. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And you're on, some mid-range hardware here doing ray tracing on 1440. Now, you can obviously upscale a little bit more because for the most part, you might not want exactly barely 60. I mean, we're at 70 here, but I am staring at a wall. I'm going to cut this out real quick. I really wish you could disable these hints that keep popping up. Every time I do a restart, they invade my benchmark. But yeah, we're looking about 74 FPS here with a simple quality upscale. Now, oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh, well, we're okay. We didn't die. All right, so let's jump over to the next level of upscale. Let's check it out on balanced and see how that goes. So once you do a little bit of upscaling, you're effectively running, you know, a lower resolution. So it does free up the resources and you don't run stability issues anymore. So yeah, everything looks pretty good though. We're looking like GPUs being utilized 100%. That's good to see. And everything looks like it is rocking along just fine. 90 FPS here. Now I'm going to go up to performance just to give you guys a very, you know, full picture here. So, you know, if you really did want to run this high quality ray tracing, might not be a bad idea to run this performance, especially if you want like a 100 FPS experience or so. I'm going to check it out on 4K because I think with a performance upscale on 4K, we might be able to get around 60 FPS and just kind of go from there and see what we can expect. But yeah, for the most part, you're totally fine. You can do this at 1080p, no problem, and 1440p. Even all the way up to the very highest level of ray tracing, as long as you're willing to use at least that quality or that balanced DLSS, or not DLSS, FSR upscaling. And, you know, of course, if you wanted to go all the way down to performance, you absolutely could. It does lose a little bit of clarity, but again, I am looking at this on a 32-inch panel, so 1440 does kind of naturally already have a little bit of blurriness in my opinion, you know, at this level. So if you're on a native 1440p panel, I think you'll be okay. So I'm just going to come into here. I'm going to leave it on that. I'm going to go back to just ray tracing, and I'm going to come up here. We're going to check it out. We're going to be bold. We're going to go to 4K, and we're going to leave it on quality upscale. So this is ray tracing, 4K quality upscale. Let's see if we can hang on and not crash. Yes, everything changed. All right, we're looking good. All right, so that gives us 56 FPS, 55 FPS. We're going to have to go more than quality. Now, the good thing about anything 4K is performance looks really good because the upscaling technology is basing it off of a 1080p base resolution. So your upscale looks way better at 4K than the same level of upscaling would at a lower resolution. I hope I'm saying that in a way that makes sense. So let's just go ahead and jump down to that next level. Let's go to balanced. Let's see what that does for us here. So we're going to go to balanced FSR. And that gives us right at 60. Again, this is just the first level of ray tracing. We got 70 FPS here. Let's just keep on going. I just kind of want to get through this a little bit quicker since this is more than likely not what people would be buying this card to do. I still wanted to just prove what's possible if you're willing to use some upscaling. So right here, you got the first level of ray tracing. We're on balanced FSR, and we are at 78 FPS. So we're looking really good. Now I'm just gonna, you know, Hail Mary this thing real quick. I'm just gonna go on up to that very high level of ray tracing, but I'm gonna leave it on performance because based on what I've seen, I know we're gonna at least need performance upscaling. So this is the highest level of ray tracing. Not quite 60 FPS. Unfortunately, I don't believe this title has any sort of frame generation. If it did, that would be one option. You could come in and do some frame gen on top of this. But right now, unless I am completely missing it, we don't have any frame gen that I'm seeing here. So we're not looking like we have any sort of options. So what I'm going to do here is jump over to the next level of upscaling and give you guys what it takes to run the very, very highest level. Okay, so we don't have anything beyond performance. Wow, okay, let's try some other performance settings here. So that was FSR. Let's go to XeSS. This is Intel's upscaler. I don't think it's gonna be much better. Yeah, it gives you 48 FPS, 45, so still not quite the greatest, but you know, you're not crashing. So if this were to ever have any sort of frame generation support, you might be able to, you know, eke out a little bit more performance. But for the most part, I think that ray tracing with FSR performance, let's just go over not the two, let's go to the normal one that's current. So FSR performance with the first level of ray tracing still gives you 95% or 95 FPS with you know, plenty of headroom here. So I think this is still a nice setting. I'm just going to go in and double check everything, make sure we're looking good. So this was 4K ray tracing, FSR performance, and let's see what that balance was at because we kind of skipped over a few things. I just want to bring it back and see where we were at. So yeah, even at FSR quality with that first level of ray tracing on 4K, you're still around 70, mid 70s. I mean, this is still really good. So, you know, this has just kind of been like a quick look at it. If you like this kind of stuff, of course, please consider subscribing. We are well on our way to 1,000 subscribers. If you want to help me hit that goal, all I'm asking you to do is click that little button down there. And yeah, we're just going to wrap it up tonight. I hope everyone has a great evening, and we will see you in the very next video. Peace.